Happy New Year, everyone. I'm so excited. I have been MIA on my channel for the last couple months. My mom is a first-time home buyer. Yay! But the people that she bought the house had some, we'll call it interesting paint choice colors. So for the last couple months, we've been painting her entire house and packing her and moving her, and so I haven't been able to really be creative. And so I'm excited to come back to my channel, to hang out with you guys, to comment. I've really missed all of my creative peeps, and I look forward to 2025. But since I have been not being creative, I wanted to do a layout share of my 2024 layouts to kind of get my creative juices flowing, get back into it. I have lots of ideas, and I cleaned up my room a little bit. Like, I am ready to go for 2025. But I wanted to share some of my layouts from this last year. There is going to be Scrap-a-Sketch sketches in here. There is my Scrap Lift Crafternoon. And so all of these layouts have videos on my channel from the last year. So make sure that if you like something or have questions, either go ahead and put them in the description box below or go and visit that video, and I will tell you more about if it was a scrap lift, who it was from, and then the Scrap-a-Sketch sketches, which ones they are. I can't remember from the last year. So let's go ahead and get started. This one I love. This one is my husband and I in Mazatlan, and I really like this one because the sign is very colorful, and I don't tend to do colorful things, or I haven't previously tended to do colorful things, but I'm planning on continuing to be more bright colors in my layouts this next year. But this was a scrap lift, and I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but she does all the really very colorful mixed media and everything. And so I did this one, and I cut out these flowers, and I'm pretty sure this is all Vicky Bouton paper, and I believe the stickers and stuff are also Vicky Bouton, but I thought it worked perfectly with going with this sign of us. So I love that. This one is fun. This one's me and my mama on her 70th birthday cruise, and we're just waiting to board the ship. She's so cute with her little hat. And this is just a bunch of stash, and I liked this layout because I pulled in some ephemera that not necessarily has anything to do with this picture of us waiting for the cruise, but I have like this little house scene here, sunshine days, this little snail and the bee and everything. And I like this layout because it reminds me that sometimes, like, I don't have to be so matchy-matchy with my ephemera that I choose to put on my layouts. And I really like how this one turned out. This one is a 2-page, which is always fun. This is my husband and I in Universal Studios, and it's pretty cool. They have this backdrop that you stand in front of, so it looks like it's a street, but that's a flat wall. And this was all from Stash, I believe, using up bits and bobs from Stash. All these kind of cinema type ephemera. I like this really big thickers wording there, and then it has like a 1 and then 2, 3. Here's some pocket page cards that I just liked the pictures on them, so I thought that looked cute next to that. So that's a fun layout. This one's adorable. This Mickey I've had in my stash, and it was like a full 12 by 12, and I just cut out the Mickey, and I used mixed media and painted these circles so it looked like the Mickey was drawing. This is my best friend's children. We went to Disneyland. So cute. Prince Charming and Snow White. Adorable. We all wore we had shirts, and we each had the name of the 7 dwarfs. So it was a lot of fun going with them. And then these are Echo Park and Simple Stories. Most of my Disney ephemera is Echo Park Magical Place, and the Simple Stories like the Say Cheese line. So I liked this layout. This one was us in Disneyland, the same trip. You can see I was happy and my husband's dopey. That was our dwarf names. And this one was fun because this cutout that says Disneyland, I've probably had for a million years. And it was a cutout from a store that was going out of business. They were in Phoenix. My mom and I were up there. And so they let you use all their dies before they were going out of business. And so my mom and I just cut like a million things. And this Disneyland was one of them. And I cut it in pink and blue. And it's funny because I cut it, and if I probably would have cut it in the red or the yellow or the black or something, I would have used this a lot sooner. But since I used these off colors, I never used it. And so this was fun to get that used up. I used some embossing powder to jazz up the Disneyland word. But I thought, well, this is a fun way to do a Disneyland picture. It doesn't have to be only like traditional Disneyland colors. Here's a pink castle, and I put a palm tree. Again, I like using ephemera that doesn't necessarily have to be for the theme of the page. And so that's another thing I'm gonna work on this year, is just using up some ephemera. This one, I like the colors of this one. This is little Yoda. He's sitting out in the yard just sunbathing. And this was fun. It's just a way to use up scraps. These are just strips of paper kind of piled on in the same color scheme. So I like that. I took this as happiest, and then dog and beauty and everyday. Very simple layout, but I like that one. This one is another one on my quest of using bright colors that I don't normally use. This is my husband and Yoda, and they're on this huge peacock floaty that I got for the pool that I had to have, and it's like ginormous. And it's like a floating island. And so Yoda's not much of a swimmer, but he'll float around on this pool floaty with you. And so it's just another everyday picture of them floating in the pool. But I like using up different colors. More colorful, I guess is the word. This one's a picture of my husband and I in Tombstone. They have this beautiful Tombstone rose. This is underneath, and then this is the top. I still need to get there when it's blooming because I'm sure it's amazing. But I like this layout for the fact that these vellum leaves, I have a hard time with vellum floral or leaves in general because I like to stack my leaves in floral, and when they're vellum, it's hard to use. You know, I complain about the 49 and Market leaves all the time. These ones were Vicky Bouton ones, and I had a few, and then I had the vellum leaf like 12 by 12, and then there was a few of the leaves by themselves, so I just cut up the 12 by 12 and used them all on here. So that's a fun way to use those vellum things. This one I really like. This was a scrap lift, and it was a layout where they did like a little story at the end. And so I was like, well, this would be fun. These are the Simple Stories kids, the Disney kids, and I have a million of those, but I'm not going to ever need that many. So I thought this was fun. I'm a lifelong San Francisco 49ers fan. As you can tell, this is me when I was younger, and then this is me in 2020 when they were in the Super Bowl. And so I thought this would be a fun way to use them, and I cut out the little emblems, and this is actually like the go-karts in Disneyland, but I just put the little emblem in it. I thought it kind of looked like stadium seating, and then I put the little emblem on their hats and the little football on her balloon. So I thought that was a fun way to just use up a bunch of these kids, and I still have a million, so I'll have to come up with another way to use it. This one was a difficult one. I really love like Blue Fern Studio paper, and their Christmas line is so pretty. but it's so busy. And so I buy it because I love the paper, and then I go to use it and I'm a little overwhelmed. So I've got some ideas on ways to use up my busy papers this year as well. And so I will be working on that. But this is my best friend's children at visiting Santa. We have at the zoo, they do like zoo lights. And this is a cup file. And this is a Christmas tag. So this was using up some stash, which I like. I've had this a really long time as well. So that's just cute. Cute, cute. This one was a scrap lift, I remember, because this is not normal for me. I don't tend to like all this white space right here. And so I thought that afterwards it would bug me and I would go back and fill something up, but I really like how this page turned out. And so I need to really get out of my box and see if I can try to not think that I'm missing something, because this turned out really cute. And then these like little lights that I've had in my stash forever because I never could figure out how to use them. And I love how it just kind of lays in here, and I have like a cluster here and then the picture cluster. I don't know if it's the black with the dark greens and everything. I don't know if that's why I love this layout, but this is one of my favorite ones, and I thought that I wouldn't like it because of all this white space. As you know, I'm a more is more, and so I tend to love this style where it's like woof, everywhere, as opposed to this. But I do like this layout, so I might try that a little more this year as well. This one's fun. This is a huge shaker pocket that I made, and there's little snowflake glittery things in there that it'll shake. These came from a swap that I did, and then I just cut out this snow globe with my Cricut. And I know that this one, the picture's not the focal point, but I don't worry too much about rules, and I don't worry too much about what's the focal point and if everything is balanced. It's like, if I like it and I want to try something, I just do it in my layouts. And I mean, really, this is my scrapbook album, so I'm the one that has to like it. And I love how this turned out. And I just love this little scene here with the snowman. And this is the picture that we take every year in front of this tree. So this is just of that year. So that's good. Plus, I never know how to use the snow paper because it never snows here in Arizona. This one is fun. This is my other best friend's daughter, and she did like a 1-year photo shoot when she was a year old, and I couldn't decide which photo I liked the best, so I just printed up all of them in the I think this is 3x5 sides, and did little what are those called, like little clusters there. So that one just turned out cute, and that's fun. This is a Craft-A-Clock collection, and I just love Craft-A-Clock. They're so fun. This is a picture of my husband at a U of A football game, and I made this out of the Cricut and just put some footballs there. There's nothing fancy here. I cut a paw, because they're the Wildcats. I cut a paw out of the Cricut, and then I used what is that called? The negative side, and made a little stencil. And then I used the Tim Holtz picket fence. And I don't use that very much because it's white. And so I was happy to use that on something, because you can see it on this black paper here. So that's a fun one too. This one is cute. This is my best friend's daughter. My best friends have my children for me, and so they are the ones that make the scrapbook albums here. But this was my hat and my sunglasses, and so she was posing for the camera for me while we were by the pool, and she's just freaking adorable, like too adorable for her own good. She gets away with everything with Auntie Ashley. And so I just love this, and I like how it's almost like a smaller layout on the bigger one. And I just had this wave stencil that I put on there and some mixed media on the background, and it's really cute. And then use some of just old ephemera that I had. So then this one was a labor of love. I cut out all these hexagons and then I stitched around them and created this tree. And then this little thing in the middle with this charm was another thing I got with a Christmas swap. And this was using some of that busy paper, but I put mixed media in the background to try to separate this from this busy tree that I made. And this little deer I just thought was cute sitting under the tree. So I liked that. This one is a pocket page and I like this one. This was a cut file from the 31 Days of Cut Files with MK and Janet. And I wanted to put it in this pocket page, so I actually cut it in half so that it would fit inside. And then I put this title on the outside of the pocket page, which is something that I haven't done before. So I like that. And then just put some various ephemera. In the back of the pocket page, I actually didn't do this year. I've done this a while ago. And this was just some pictures of some deer that we saw while we were on the hike. But I really like doing the pocket pages because you get a bunch of the photos in, but then I feel like they take me the longest because it's like doing 9 layouts or whatever separately, but then having them create one full one. So, but I like that. This one I believe was Iron Crafter Challenge, where it was to use frames, and I had a bunch of these frames that were, I think it's a Simple Stories. And so I really like how this one turned out with all the frames kind of around the picture. This is just my husband and I at Thanksgiving. And then I had these little fall leaf picks. And so I like that I stuck them in there. So that's just a sweet page. This one's actually the last layout I did of the year. And this one I just cut out these like ink splatters from the Cricut, and I used the negative side, and I used some distressed ink on them because I thought then it would look like ink splatters on the page. And it's just the picture of my husband and I in Disneyland. And then this is a new collection with the Steamboat Willie Mickey, which I just love. It's one of my favorites. So that's cute. And I put in these, like the smile with the red, because I didn't want it to just be black and white. This one I like. This is just a simple picture of me and Ray. She's one of my kitties. And the paper itself has these florals in the corners. And then I just had some floral in my stash that I kind of filled in the center. And I really like how that turned out. And then I added the gold, since the paper had these gold dots, I added the gold wording. This is some washi tape here. And then these little bees I cut out and I popped up and put them around. So it turned out cute. I like that. This one's another fun one with color. This is just Yoda on his bed outside, you know, living the good life. He has his bone there. And I liked this one. This one I believe was a scrap lift. And so it had all these different patterns, which I really like, having the different patterns and not necessarily patterns that you would think go together. I really like kind of the pattern clashing on the layouts. And then I have the white border to help kind of tone it in there. I apologize if you hear my cat meowing. He's a talker. This one is almost kind of the same idea with the color schemes, these brighter colors that I like. And this one is my other cat, Finn. This is actually the one that you are hearing. He is so loud. And so this was fun. I got the different colors in there with the different ephemera and the different little clusters. And sorry, as you can see, the cat has to make his debut. Sir, you're in the way. Can we move, please? So he apparently wanted to look at his layout here, but this is how he sleeps. He sleeps in these weird positions because he's just an oddball. Sir, I'm trying to show my layouts here. Come on. This one is when my husband and I were in New York City, and this is a picture of us in Times Square, and I thought this was fun. This I had forever, this Chamel collection, and it's the Sparkle City. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the collection, and it had all these little buildings and stuff. I've never used it, and I thought, oh, well, that's perfect to go for New York, and then I can do these kind of bright colors for it, and it makes it a fun layout. It was very cold and foggy when we were there. You can see that, like, you can't even see the top of the buildings there, and so I don't, you know, if I hadn't found this in my stash, I don't know if I would have done this layout in the bright colors. I probably would have done more of like my normal kind of neutrally colors. So like I said, I'm really liking doing more of these bright colors. So that is the first stack, and then I have one more for this year, and this one is a 2-pager. And then this is, I love this, the colors of this. Again, I had used, I think this is from a kit, like my Through the Seasons kit. And I probably would have thought to do, because this is us in Central Park, I probably would have thought more leafy, more like browns and greens, but I really like how this turned out. I was worried that like these colors wouldn't work for these photos. And so I actually really like how this turned out. And there's a theme, like when I tend to overthink and worry that the ephemera doesn't match my theme, or the papers or the colors don't match my theme, and then I do it outside the box or something, then I really love it. So that's why I'm like, I don't follow the rules normally, but for 2025, I'm not even going to follow my own rules. So it'll be interesting this year. But I do like how that double page turned out, and I don't do double pages often. So this one's fun. This is just a picture of my husband and I on the cruise, and this is the formal night. This is actually from my mom's 70th birthday cruise, the first formal night. And so it's just a cute little photo, and it's a 5x7, so it commands attention from the page. And so I just have a few little clusters there. Cute. This one I had this picture of my work peeps when we started doing Zoom because of 2020, and this computer and this to-do was a cut file from MK and Janet's 31 Days of Cut File, so I thought it was perfect. And then I had this COVID paper, so I think it worked perfectly for this layout. This was one, we are in Puerto Vallarta, I believe, and see, I still have to do my journaling. And I like how this turned out. I think that I should have done the brighter colors. I like it that it's going to stay and it's in the layout, but I tend to gravitate towards these earthy colors, and after I do some of these brighter layouts and I look at them, I'm like, you know, I need to work more on some colorful layouts, because I think that the heart and everything might have popped a little bit more if my colors weren't more earthy and they were just kind of a bright and cheery. So more to come in 2025 of bright colors. This one is my husband and I in Dominican Republic, and we were on this excursion, and these, it says hike more, worry less. These are from MK's cut files again, MK and Janet's cut files. And then I use some vellum here, some mixed media through a stencil, which I think this is a Scrap-A-Sketch stencil. I have to check out her stencils. They're really good. I love them. So that's a cute layout. This one is another picture of my husband and I, and this one is in Puerto Vallarta, and it's just using the Mama Razi collection, which I love, and then I put some texture paste through a stencil. I think the stencil is a Tim Holtz stencil, and then I inked over it just to add some texture to it. So. This one's fun. Every time Yoda in his, because he wouldn't keep his shoes on, and here in Arizona and the summer I can't walk him because it'll burn his little paws. And so I bought shoes for him, but he has like little tiny feet but then thick ankles, and so the shoes that fit over the ankles fall off because then his little feet, he like pulls them in and kicks them off. So I bought this harness basically, and it's all cloth, and it has little rubber feet, and you put it on and then you can walk them that way. Doesn't he look ecstatic to be wearing this? He didn't want to go out in front of his friends wearing this, but he kicks off his shoes, so he either has to wear this or he can't go for walks. So, and this was fun. I'm pretty sure this was a scrap lift, and I used some old stash for this. This one was my best friend's son. His 4th birthday was in 2020, and so he didn't have a birthday party, and they did a drive-by. And so you would drive by and leave him gifts and tell him happy birthday, and it was for Thomas the Train. And so I had collected from like a thrift store an old Thomas the Train book, and I cut out the picture here, and then I used my Cricut and cut out the train tracks in a 4. And I had this really old railroad crossing paper I'd never thought I would use, and it worked perfectly. And he's in his little conductor outfit. So cute. And then this one is my mama's birthday, and we just had a little surprise birthday dinner at my house. And so this picture really doesn't show you anything. You can kind of see that it says happy birthday on the banner above us, but it's just a selfie of us, and I loved it. So I used a stencil here, and I put Nuvo drops through the stencil so that it's just shimmery and it has a little bit of texture. And then I used some of the cut aparts here. So that's cute. This one was using up stash. This is Milo. So I have 3 cats. I have Milo, Ray, and Finn. And you've seen Finn. He's the most invasive cat, if you will. Milo is the cat of all cats. Like, she'll come around when she wants to be pet. Otherwise, you don't see her and she sleeps all day. But she's so pretty. And so I wanted to do this layout that kind of matched her colors. And it just, this was taken during the fall, so it worked out good. She's so pretty. Okay, and then this is us in Puerto Vallarta again, and this was a cut file from MK and Janet's 31 Days of Cut Files. I did a lot of stencil here. These stencils are Scrap-A-Sketch stencils, and this is just a selfie of us with the cruise ship behind us, and then this is just pictures of the cruise ship being docked. And so I liked this idea, was that I have these scenery photos that are technically kind of the same thing. I just thought it was crazy how high like this cruise ship is compared to the buildings, and then the selfie of us, and so the selfie kind of stands out in front of it, and then these are there. I just thought that was a fun way to get all these photos, and then I don't have 100 photos of the same thing, or 100 layouts of the same photo, so I liked that. This is a picture of one of my best friend's daughter graduating, and I just love this. She's kind of my first baby of my best friend's, and so she graduated, and she's so pretty. And I like this. I got this paper from Michael's. It was a paper pack for 2023, and I've have had it since then, and I really like this. I feel like I should have put more red on here because her colors are red, and so maybe if I would have done like some red stars to try to pull in the red, but otherwise I like that. That's her and her mom, so cute. This one is us at the Santa Monica Pier. This one, I just love that it's just these 4 kind of scenic photos. I didn't take many photos. We just went to the beach that day and walked along the pier. It wasn't anything like hugely significant. We were sitting there, and this little bird was sitting in front of us, and then just the scenery of the beach, and then the pier. I like that, the Ferris wheel, and then the selfie. But you wouldn't necessarily scrapbook these photos, but I thought it was cute as a cluster on this page, and it just kind of sums up that we were at the Santa Monica Pier. And I am obsessed with VW buses. Like, I want one, and my husband's a mechanic, and I keep trying to convince him that we need one, but he's very like, well, the frames are always rusted and you have to start with that, and then if you get one that's not rusted, it's $1 million. And so, but I'm working on it because I just love them. And so this paper, I don't know if it's a Craft-A-Clock paper or Mente. I can't remember, but I just love this collection because it has these VW buses, and it's this very like muted colors. I love it. This one is fun. I had this Snow Much Fun cut file, and I think this is from a creative scrapbook kit that I get. They send a cut file sometimes, and it was like snow theme that month, and I don't get snow, so if I get paper that's snow paper or wintry, I don't know what to do with it because I barely get any. And we have this neighborhood that's called Winter Haven, and they set up lights. Everyone in that neighborhood does extravagant lights, and so every year we go to Winter Haven, and they had a snow machine. And so this is us all under fake snow, because that's the only kind that we really get here in Tucson. And so I thought, well, that's funny, I got to use my snow photos for that, and I liked getting the 4 photos on there. This one is in Cabo, and this is just in a restaurant. I love how intricate these statues were. This is me and my lady here. It's a selfie, and these were up on the high wall, and they had a little dog over here, and there's one here. So I just thought it was cute. It's a fun little layout, and of course it had to have a bunch of patterns and bright colors because my ladies here and this gent are very colorful. So that's a fun layout. This layout is Father's Day breakfast. This is my husband, his dad, and my brother-in-law. And this is just a fun little simple layout. I put these little, like, I never thought I would use this ephemera here with the juice what is this? The juice container and the glass. And I'm like, oh, it's perfect for this breakfast. And then I did some mixed media in the background. I like all of the different patterns. This is some washi here. So that's a fun, simple one. This one is a scrap lift, and this one is one of my favorites. I took a 12 by 12 that was a flag, and then I cut it in strips, and then I laid it here so that it was like fringe flag under here. And this is the Statue of Liberty in the New York 9/11 Museum. And I talk about like my experience going to that museum in the video, and probably every time that I will do a layout from my experience here. This was a profound one for me. But this layout, I just love the fringe, and it's a fun way to have such serious photos. So I like that. This one is us on the cruise, and this was the comedian. They do the comedian shows, and we liked the late night one, of course. And so this adult only cut file was from MK and Janet's 31 Days cut file, and I thought it was perfect for the adult only comedy show that was on the cruise. And then last but not least is another one. This is all of us on the cruise. Again, this was Mom's 70th birthday. And it was the Mexican Riviera cruise. This one is in Puerto Vallarta. And this is my aunts and uncles and my husband and I just out exploring the town. And this is the Mente collection. I just love this. This was white, and I inked that up. I put some of those. I'm almost through these film strips from 49 and Market. I think this is Craft-A-Clock. No, I think this is Mente, because it's Mente there. But I really like the brick with the floral pattern. So that is the layouts I did in 2025. And I thought this would be a good way to get my creative juices flowing, get back into doing all of the creative things because I have missed you guys. And like I said, sorry I've been MIA, but I'm back. I want to join in. I'm going to join in with How to Kill a Kit with Style this year. Of course, I'm always with my Scrap a Sketch creative, doing those, and then my Scrapbook Crafternoon creative peeps. I love my Iron Crafter challenges, Mixed Media Mayhem. Like, I'm going to try to really get through some stash this year because I have way too much stash. I want to start a another series for myself that I want to use up my collections, because since I got a scrapbook store here, I have been able to buy actual collections, and which is really fun. And I never used to scrapbook that way because I didn't have a scrapbook store, and so I usually would get paper and stuff from Michael's. So I'm going to use up my, or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, you know, just paper pads. So I'm going to use up my stash this year. That's number one. I'm going to use more color. I'm going to try to make my papers more colorful. And I get the creative scrapbook kit, which I just love. It's the main kit, and that helps get me color because then it's sent to me, and so I have no choice but to use it. And so I didn't go and I didn't pick out muted colors. Like, it was sent to me, and now I have to use it. So that's good. I'm gonna use more colors. I'm gonna not focus so much on the theme of my page and try to get some of my ephemeras used up. Also, I am going to use up collections. I'm going to pick a collection. I'm going to scrapbook until there's nothing left of that collection because, like I said, I have them all separated out, and so I need to get those gone through as well. And I have a lot of things to scrapbook. We're in 2025, and I think I'm almost done with 2021. And I don't scrapbook in chronological order, so I jump around, but I definitely need to get started on some other fun things that happened since then. So thank you to everyone that's liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. Make sure you go and check out the videos on all of these layouts to see if they were credited to someone or scrap a sketch, sketch, or a scrap lift from someone, and just get all the details. Thank you for everyone that has just hung in while I've been missing the last couple days. My mama is settled in. She's ready to go, so now I can be creative as well. I might also be putting some other of my papercraft things that I do on my channel this year as well. So a lot of exciting things coming in 2025. Make sure if you're not subscribed to me to hit that button below, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye!